Hey guys, Sheet Geek here. Welcome. In this episode, I want to check out It's a quick little assignment that I use to introduce entering their own formulas in spreadsheets. So I've actually probably with a class I've already gone over some basic formatting stuff, and then I've already looked at some functions, some easy functions, summary functions like sum, max, min, average. So then I start to introduce the idea of entering their own formulas when there isn't a function to do what they need done. So what I'll do is I'll give them a copy of this spreadsheet, and I will post this for you down in the description, so you can use this one if you want and modify it if you want. Just choose File, make a copy. So I'll give them a copy of this, and this is just designed to introduce some of the common operations that they're going to use in formulas and just practice. So really the directions just say they should enter in column B whatever they see in column A. So the formulas that I've typed in column A, I don't know if you can notice it up here in the formula bar, but it's preceded by a single quote. So that means it should show as text instead of calculating that formula. It should just show as text. So they shouldn't really be able to copy and paste. The directions tell them to not copy and paste because the whole objective here is to practice entering these formulas. But they shouldn't be able to copy and paste because they're not going to get results. So if they do copy and paste and then were to remove the single quote, then I guess they could beat the system, so to speak, but it doesn't really save them much time. There's some notes over here on the right side. I'm trying to show something specific with each formula, so hopefully they take some time to read those notes, so you can read through those and check out what they do. But the idea is that the student should just be using the your entry column, column B, and they should just type what they see in column A. For equals 4163 plus 918, and hit enter when they're done. And if they type the formula correctly, they should get 5081. The check column should show that they're correct. And then they should just kind of keep going through and doing this. 43 times 102, hitting enter, equals 507 minus 68, enter, and so on and so forth. The check column will check to see whether they're correct or not. There's some conditional formatting in here so that it turns green and white font when they do get that correct. This is all based, if you want to take some time to explain this, they don't really need to understand how this works yet, but it's a nice opportunity to explain what's going on here. And if you look up at the formula bar here, it's a kind of a big ugly if, but basically if it's blank, it says that it's incorrect. Otherwise, if it's not blank, it checks to see whether B3 equals D3, and it shows correct or incorrect. I'll talk about the if in a later video, so they don't really need to understand the if yet. It uses the value in cell D3, which is hidden, and you can see up here between columns C and E that I do have some hidden columns. So it is hidden, and that's also something to talk about. You'll always have at least a few students, hopefully, that are interested in how this thing works. And that's part of, I think inspiring students to use spreadsheets is that you use a little bit of spreadsheet magic with them, and they're interested in how it works. So that's really all there is for this assignment. Is I give them a copy of this and I have them run through it. I take some time. It doesn't take long, but I do take some time to talk about some of the different operators that are used here: multiplication, addition, subtraction, division. I talk about parentheses and how they influence the order of operations. The one in row 10 down here does kind of give them a result that they might not expect if they're not thinking along the lines of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, the operations. So it does, a spreadsheet will use order of operations unless you use parentheses to tell it otherwise. So in this one, it will do 3 times 2 first and get 6 before it adds the 5. So your correct answer here will be 11, and not if you try to do it from left to right. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So that one's worth talking about for a minute, how spreadsheets use the right order of operations unless you tell them not to. I also do have a few here that use cell references. B8 times 5, they have to use the value in cell B8, so that depends on a correct value there in cell B8. And then at the end, we get into the idea that you can create a formula without any numbers at all. So this is just an intro. It's probably only going to take the students 5 or 10 minutes to complete this. It's nice that it tells them gives them feedback whether they've gotten that correct or not. But I think part of your job here is as a teacher to talk about those different operations and maybe pinpoint some of those and open that as a discussion point. So it doesn't take long, not even a full class. There's some other some practice activities that I'm going to include in other videos. So be sure to subscribe and check out the channel. There's tons of stuff. But hopefully this is a good way to introduce entering formulas and having the students use the equal sign to start a formula and then using either numbers or cell references or some combination of those in your formula. So nothing huge, just a quick intro. Like I said, there's going to be some videos coming out that have some more detailed stuff in there and have the students doing some stuff on their own. So hopefully it's something you can use. Once again, I'd appreciate a like, a subscribe, share it with your friends. The more viewers, the better. Thanks for tuning in. Happy spreadsheeting.